Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking out the time to join today's discussion. My name is Muskan, and I'm the part of the growth team here at Vimo. Before we get started, I'd like to make sure that you can hear us and see us properly. And yeah, to tell you a little bit about Vimo, Vimo is the distribution excellence cloud for financial services sales and distribution. We work very closely with about 60 plus banks, insurance companies, and financial institutions to help them strengthen their sales and distribution processes. Moving along, I think as tired as we are hearing about the effects of the coronavirus to the industry and the new normal, we cannot ignore the fact that the last two waves of the coronavirus and the ongoing third wave has caused massive disruption in the traditional channels of the insurance industry. Customers' expectations have changed, and agents are now expected to be quicker and more digitally equipped and yet provide humanly advice. Agency remains to be the core of the distribution channel, and businesses are now looking to transform their agents from selling to these customers to becoming their trusted advisors. Building on that, in today's webinar, we'll be discussing how we can increase coverage and activate our agency networks, how we can onboard agents smoothly and increase their productivity. We'll be looking at some case studies to understand how APAC's largest insurers are activating their agency networks. And we'll also have a small demonstration of what a good solution for a digitalized relationship manager looks like. So just a couple of pointers since we've all joined virtually. In case that you have any difficulty in the video streaming, in the audio, or if you can't see the presentation, please let us know through the chat option. If you have any questions at all, put it up in the Q&A and we'll answer all of them through the live presentation. And we will send you all the relevant links for the presentation and the recording of the webinar after the webinar, so you can refer to it offline or share it with your peers. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our host for today's webinar. Varun is the head of our industry solutions at Vimo. As a part of his role, he leads industry initiatives where he interacts with stakeholders of the community to enable knowledge sharing and networking among peers. All right, over to you, Varun.
Thanks a lot, Muskan. And good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining. What we'll do over the next hour or so is to take some time and understand how the various market trends in the agency distribution channel, focusing in Southeast Asia, how is that going to impact some of the transformation priorities that as large insurance carriers need to be thinking about. I head the go-to-market industry solutions team. What we do is we work with a lot of our customers to learn about what is most important for them and how some of the priorities are shifting. And we constantly build industry solutions for them that solve for these transforming priorities. And we would like to share some of our learnings and also talk to you about how we see that should be the priorities in terms of transforming the agency as a distribution channel for insurance companies. So I'd like to keep this as conversational as possible. We are going to lead with a few slides. I'll showcase to you what we do at Vimo itself with some of the insurance customers in the agency channel. But I would love to take any questions that you might have and sort of go into a little bit more detail on those as well. Right? In terms of how I'm going to structure the next hour, we'll start by looking at the market itself. What are the broader market trends when it comes to the insurance agency distribution model? And how is that going to impact some of the choices that you will have to make strategically in terms of digital transformation? Secondly, so first we'll start with broader market trends, but then we'll go deeper into the agency network itself, the agency distribution channel, and how some of those larger trends are going to impact how you do your sales and distribution via the agency networks that you have. And then we'll step back to what would be an ideal solution for a digital relationship manager who's working this agency distribution model. And then we will, at that point, talk about Vimo itself and what are the components of the solution that we offer for agency relationship managers. We'll take a look at some case studies. And I will also jump into the Waymo app and showcase to you how some of these things can be done very easily and simply using Waymo. So that's for the agenda itself. Just give me a second here. Yeah, so if you have any points that you would like to share or any questions that you would like me to address, just drop them in the chat window and I will take them up as part of the conversation itself, or at the end, I'll try to keep some time where we can take some questions and go into more detail. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, I think the fact that we all are aware of, but is worth sort of talking about again, is that when it comes to growth in the insurance market, Southeast Asia has never been more competitive. In terms of global markets, if you look at APAC as a whole, actually, insurance in APAC, it's the fastest growing and the most competitive marketplace in the world, driven by multiple factors. One is shifting demographics. More people are at a sort of salary bandwidth where they can afford these insurance products. They are more aware of the options that they have in terms of insurance. They are as a digital native, and they're looking for various options which makes life simple for them, which means they are pushing and sort of as clearing the need for alternate players who can come in and offer as a digital first offerings in insurance itself. A lot of factors like this, and also regulatory factors, also governments are sort of making some of these options more possible and so on. But it is a very competitive marketplace. And you have incumbents who are who need to sort of re-examine the way they sell, because you also have a lot of sort of newer age incumbents, also newer age entrants who are coming in and challenging these incumbents in various of these distribution models. So the markets also at some point are reaching maturity. So you have the same customers who are being reached by also multiple insurance carriers. So the need to think sort of differently, be more innovative in the way you match the right products to the right customers, and a lot of other things that we'll talk about become a lot more important with this changing marketplace. Asia now leads the world in the growth of new premiums. Here is where all the action is in terms of new growth in insurance. And so a lot of these things that we'll talk about in terms of driving efficiencies in the process becomes a lot more important in Asia, and it will be a lot more important in the next 5 to 10 years. So that is in terms of the market growth itself. If you look at consumers, they are now more risk conscious. They want to look at all the options that they have in terms of insurance and make the right choices. In particular now, with the pandemic for the last year and a half, insurance, health insurance, life insurance is becoming more pertinent. And people who might not have earlier thought of the need of having, say, a life insurance policy are starting to think much more closely about having some of these things. And you can see that with more consumers becoming aware of the options that they have at their disposal and so on, they are also going to start to push insurance carriers to reach them in the channels that make more sense to them. So if I look at the online purchases of insurance, we can see that it has been consistently growing. And over the next 5 years, it is just going to grow more and more, which means that a lot of the traditional modes of reaching customers, whether it is via direct agents, whether it's via agency network, and so on, will have to change. But at the same time, it is still, if you look at the same numbers, while you will have a certain number of online purchases, there will still be a significant component where a relationship manager will have to work with customers at various points of the purchasing journey, either upfront in terms of the matching them with the right projects, understanding what their needs are and so on, and also at various points to turn an interested customer into, an interested prospect into a customer. At various points, we will, for the next 5 years and even for the next 10 years in Asia, it will be a combination of a digital model which has components of a human interaction, where you have a sales rep, where you have a, say, relationship manager who's going to come and guide you through the purchasing process. So I think a lot of sort of consulting shops and all that are calling this phygital, which is you're going to have physical interaction points, manual interaction points, but it's also going to become digital. So it is about what are the tools and solutions that you can use to help you transition into this combined world where you, where your sales reps are not going to become redundant, but you need to empower them with ways in which they can be more targeted and more value add in their interactions with customers. So it will become less about somebody making a cold call and taking someone through the entire process, but it will be more about tracking online metrics, who has viewed what document, who has clicked on what campaign, and then looking at the drop-off rate at each point in time, and then reaching out to a customer, nurturing them with the right product, using the information that you can gather with them, which might be on a self-serve portal. We'll talk about some of these things better, but we need ways of plugging in the self-serve digital aspects of insurance sales with the sales rep and sales rep read physical aspects or human aspects of the sale. So how do we bring this together? It's part of an evolving journey. We work with our customers who are at various points of this journey, and we learn a lot from them as to what is important as large insurance carriers in the agency channel move to this phygital mode of selling. And I'll talk to you about some of these things. Right? Yeah, so just going, I'm going to skip this slide. It just talks a lot about how the shift is happening towards digital. And we're looking, I mean, if you look at various large insurance companies, if you look at their top priorities, it's all around how they can improve customer experience by shifting to sort of a digital first and sales rep supported mode of engagement. But I'll just move along. While this shift is happening, one more thing that is very important is that we might be at a point here, it's been a year and a half since the pandemic started, and we might be at various points of moving away from that pandemic in different countries, right? So in the developed world, so they're already starting to talk about coming back to normalcy. In the developing world, which is a large part of APAC, we are still not there yet. And not just in APAC, but in the developed world as well. When we go and talk to all of our prospects and our customers, what we are finding is that a lot of the after effects of what has happened in the pandemic is going to be front and center for all the investments that the CIO makes at the insurance companies, that the digital transformation team makes at the digital companies. The pandemic and basically how do we deal with the sort of distribution modes, which is going to be, say, distributed and as a remote. All of these are sort of front and center. And we cannot avoid talking about that and prioritizing that when we talk about what is a solution that works well for an agency distribution model for the next 5 years. So I think some of those aspects we'll talk about, but primarily what has happened now is that, I mean, whether it's the agency model or the bank assurance model and so on, being able to nurture these relationships with my agencies, with my agents, while I am not physically in front of them, having this virtual office at home where I get the same level of access to all my agents, to all the data that I need, to all the tools that I need to communicate to them, all the learning resources that I need to learn about new products, gaining all of that so in a remote manner becomes extremely important. And while we can talk a lot about various other aspects that we will, so in terms of playbooks for insurance and so on, all those playbooks have to work in a remote first model, right? Else it's not going to be sort of as relevant for insurance companies over the next 5 years. So I'll just pause here. There might be a question that's coming. No, that's not. Cool. So why is all of this important for agency network itself? Give me a second. I think I might have missed out on something that I thought was useful to talk about. Yeah. So I think this is important for today's conversation, right? We speak about trends of digitization, of how Corona and the pandemic and the after effects are going to make so a distributed model become the norm and so on. But regardless of those broader trends, almost all the large insurance companies are prioritizing the agency network as the growth driver for them for the next few years. So that is where I think a lot of their focus is. I mean, so even if you look at their sales in terms of number of policies closed and the total ticket size of policies and so on, as of today, the agency networks that they build in various geographies is the primary driver, and it will be the driver as well going forward. So how will all of these broader trends that we spoke about now, how will that impact how they deal with their agencies? How will the day in the life of, say, agency RM change with some of these shifting trends is what I wanted to talk about. And then we'll talk about what a solution might look like for this. But it's very important that carriers look at their at optimizing the productivity for their agency channels, because that is going to continue to be what is their significant driver of growth. I'll skip through this because we'll come back to some of these things later, right? So I'm going to jump to, we are at the 20-minute mark, and I would love to showcase to you some aspects of the solution as well. So I'm going to jump to what will a really powerful solution for a digital relationship manager look like. So as before that, let's just pause and say, I'm a relationship manager. I'm dealing with a network of agencies. They in turn have a set of agents who are the ones who go and sell my insurance policies to customers. Typically, these agencies do not get into an sort of exclusive relationship with the carriers. So it's a competitive marketplace. So the same agencies can sell my policies, but they can also go and sell my competitors' policies, right? So what do I do to engage better with these agencies? What can I do to make sure that they sell more of my products and not my competitors' products? How do I make sure that my agencies and my direct agents are ramped and also trained well on all of my products, and when, and I mean, so my agents have to be trained with the knowledge of what customer will benefit from which of my products. They have to learn about the details and the nuances of my product and so on. All of these things are part of what I do as part of my day in the life as an agent. But now I'm working from home. I'm dealing with these agents who are in various locations. And how do I have the same strength of engagement with them? How do I activate the network of my agencies? How do I ensure that I have good coverage of my agencies while doing this in a sort of distributed manner? What would a solution that I need for a digital relationship manager, what will that look like, right? Firstly, my office itself, my desk space will have to move into a virtual space. All my agencies, all my contacts in those agencies, all the business metrics that I have to track for those agencies, all of that has to be available for me on my desktop or on my mobile phone. And I need to have a single window view of all the metrics that matter across the entire network of insurance reseller agencies that I have, right? Secondly, when I deal with all of my agencies, all the service options that I need to do for those agencies also have to become virtual. So if I want to train them on a new product, there has to be a way for me of doing that powerfully in a remote manner. If I want to share them collateral on a new product that we have just launched, there has to be a way of sharing that remotely as well. So my agencies might come to me with a service ticket. So they might have some FAQs that I need to sort of get back to them with. I mean, they might have some questions that need answering. I need to be able to raise these questions, which can then be worked on by my back office team and then close them, etc. Everything should be able to be done virtually. At the same time, now the fact that I am distributed and separated from my team and my manager should not be a reason why I don't constantly get better at selling my own products. And this applies both to relationship managers who are handling agency relationships and also to agents themselves who need to go out and sell, right? What can we do to help that they are constantly learning where the gaps are in their knowledge, both in terms of the product knowledge, in terms of general sales knowledge and so on? How can we link in learning courses as part of their day in the life itself? So there are various ways of looking at a solution that is powerful for insurance, both for relationship managers who are dealing with a broad set of agencies and with agents themselves who are going out to the field to sell. And now they can't go out to the field to sell, who are picking up a phone or going into a Zoom call to sell. So, and the way we're looking at it is that their workspace has to become virtual, and there are various aspects and components to that, which we'll just sort of talk about in a bit. Their entire, the relationship, the engagement that they have with their agencies on an everyday basis, that goes on to the digital channels as well. And they also learn and improve via various learning management tools, which are plugged in as part of the digital day in the life, right? So I'm going to just take 5 steps. So this is a very simplified way of looking at a agency relationship manager's day in the life, but I'm just going to do that to just give a flavor. And then I'll jump into the app and show how some of these things work. And I'll sort of pause with some time for questions. What I would love to do is to just give you a glimpse in this. So there's lots we can go into a lot more deeply, but I'd love to do that in a more deeper dive, personalized demo, where we can actually walk through the entire solution stack, both from a point of view of a user and for leadership. So in terms of analytics that they can get, which can help to transform the value chain. I'll do that in a personalized chat. Here, we wanted to use this broader public channel to talk about some of the aspects that you can impact by having a digital sort of solution. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, let me take one sort of brief day in the life snapshot, right? So, I'm a relationship manager. So there are a lot of things that I should be doing. And here the problem is that I'm dealing with a large network of agencies of which might be of different segments and tiers. What is the way in which I can sort of bring them all together? Just give me a second, please. Just want to. Yeah, correct. So I want to make sure that I am dealing with all of them at the right cadence. Which is the agency that requires my attention right now? How do I plan and prioritize my day better? Is a hugely important requirement for a relationship manager. But also very important is I have all of these engagements with all of my agents, with all of my agencies. There has to be a simple way of logging all of these activities so that I can then come back, take a look at all the engagements that I've done and figure out what the right next steps are and so on. And for my managers as well to get visibility as to what is happening on the field becomes extremely important. So Waymo, what we enable is that regardless of what the mode of engagement is, that you reach out to your to the agents and the contacts at your agencies with. We have plugins to Zoom, to Teams, to WebEx. We have plugins to your, so we can also detect your phone calls and so on. So the moment you hang up from a virtual call or a meeting with them, we will prompt you to log in the notes and next steps, right? So this becomes very contextual notes that are logged in. So with just a few taps of the button, the entire context of the meeting, so what happened at the meeting, what the next steps are, those get logged in. So you have a lot of rich information now, which you can then use to figure out how you engage with these agencies much better, right? But the most important thing for you when you start your day is to figure out what customers and what are the opportunities that need my attention right now. I'd like to change that. So I think there's a typo there. So it's basically which of my network needs my attention right now. And there are various ways of looking at it. So my agencies are not all equally distributed. Some of them are high potential agencies, and I sort of determine potential based on various real-time business metrics. It could be location based, it could be based on past track record and so on. So I can segment my agencies and have this segmentation linked to playbook rules, which then sort of will send me a nudge saying that, say, for example, if my platinum agencies need to be, so if I do need to have a cadence with my as a platinum agencies at least say once a week, then that can just become a very simple playbook rule, which can then nudge me when I start my day saying that, hey, this platinum agency, you have not spoken to so in the last week, so we have auto calendar meeting for you. Or, you have the option of going and making a call or going and sort of visiting that sort of agency today, but we will help you build your calendar. We'll help build your calendar for the best outcomes. And these best outcomes are based on simple cadence rules, which might be determined by the tier of agency, so the potential of agency and so on. But these can also be based on real-time business metrics. So the same rules which run based on the tier of your agency and then tell you that you need to have a call today so with a certain, say, platinum agency, those can also be linked to business metrics. So you have a certain, say, potential business which needs to come from your agencies week on week based on what the tier is. And if there is a week on week drop, then you can get a nudge to engage. So, what we do essentially at Waymo is to make life very simple for the user, and which is where we are very different from a traditional CRM. So a traditional CRM might have a huge amount of capability, a huge stack of reports and data tables that you can potentially leverage. But the problem is those tables don't have activity information at all in the first place. So they're, for the most part, empty tables. What we do is we make life in terms of planning activities, carrying out activities, extremely simple, intuitive, and low touch for the users, which is why our daily adoption rate is upwards of 90%. So for 200,000 plus users, right? So a lot of what we do is to make life simple. And one of the things is for agency relationship managers to know which agencies require my attention right now. And there's a lot more that we can do there. So we have visibility into goals and metrics in real time. So we can call out risks preemptively, rather than waiting and doing a post-mortem on why I had lower coverage of my agency network, why I had activation issues in my agency network, and so on. All of this can be done preemptively. And I'm rushing through this because I'd like to show this to you on the app itself. I'll show you all of these things on the app, right? For the interest of time, I will skip slides and jump into the app. And then I'll come to the case studies. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I can take any questions if there are any at this point, but I'm going to start switching to the app view and very quickly show you some aspects of this, how this actually looks like for a digital relationship manager who's at an agency.
All right, Varun, I think we have one question right now, so maybe we
Yeah.
can address that and then we can go to the demo.
Which says that as most people are so remotely working, how is the relationship between the agent and the carrier maintained? Yeah, so I think there are a few aspects to this. Firstly, is that I need to get visibility into the entire network of my agencies, right? In terms of business metrics, so in terms of what is the say the live sort of leads that are coming out of those agencies, what is the week-on-week trend, month-on-month trend, so that I can identify gaps and as risks sooner and then jump in and do the course correction. So first thing that we do and what we believe is part of a solution that needs to solve for this is to give this visibility in a simplified single window manner. So we have all the agencies segmented, and I'll just show that as I walk through. But first is a visibility into all my agencies and all the metrics from those agencies and so on, so that I can sort of jump in and sort of do the right thing at the right time. Second aspect is actually having the interaction with these agencies. There, of course, the more we facilitate alternate modes of communication, it becomes more powerful. All right. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, because I do seem to have some internet issues, so let me try to see if I can jump into my mobile app and do a quick demonstration. And then I will come back and I will sort of take those questions, right? So I want to just quickly check if I can share my, yeah. So this is a very simple representation. So there are various parts of a day in the life of a remote agent as a manager. And I will talk about some of these things, right? But let me just take a simple example. I start my day. I need to, so I have one meeting planned today, but I need to figure out what are the meetings that I need to, I think we stopped the screen.
Yeah, the screen share is on the phone is not seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's back.
Right. So I start my day and I need to figure out how best to plan my day. What are the agencies that require my attention right now? Who is at risk of being sort of deactivated? And then sort of need to go and reactivate them. Who needs a product pitch training? Where do I need to do a business meeting training and so on? So I can start my day, and so Vimo has a list of suggestions for me. So these are based on playbooks which we build for each industry use case. We have a set of playbooks which comes out of the box, which is what should be the right cadence for each of your tiers of agents and what should be the right business metrics that you track. And proactively, it will nudge you with some suggestions on what you should be doing today. So I can start my day by scrolling through some of these suggestions. I find that I have a high potential account which I've not engaged with in the last 10 days, right? So that's a problem. So I can just then go and based on wherever I am at home, I can go and set up, say, a normal partner visit meeting. So I just want to visit them and I want to check in with them. I want to so do it with this particular agent. I can say just a normal check-in meeting. And submit. I can set this up at a particular time. I save. I can add some notes for that. And now I have another activity planned for the day, right? Similarly, based on various playbook rules, you will have a set of suggestions that show up at each point of the day. Some of these might be based on your calendar and location as well. But now, since we're talking about a work from home situation, so the location is not relevant. What is relevant are the business metrics and the frequency of engagement with these agencies. And based on that, you will get recommendations. So I keep scrolling down, and I was talking about the fact that what we really need is to have powerful visibility into my entire book of business, all my agencies, all my, so this app works both for the relationship manager who's dealing with a network of agencies and for a direct sales agent as well, right? If I'm a direct sales agent, then I'm looking at all the prospects that I'm working with and so on. And if I'm a, say, relationship manager who's dealing with a bunch of agencies, then I go and look at my network of agencies. Here, I can go and look at my card of agencies. It is, say, segmented by tier, segmented by active or also not active. So I go and look at my tiers because these indicate what is the potential business that comes out of these agencies. So let me start by saying, okay, so I need to make sure that all my platinum agencies are active and are generating so leads and policies as per what their potential is. Right? So these are just a bunch of sample agencies. Let me pick one and let me just go into that, right? So I go into an agency and I then go into the agency 360 page, which is the list of all the data, all the business metrics and the trends of the business metrics of that agency over a period of time. So I can look at the number of new policies closed, the gross weighted premium, and how that's trending and so on. And I can also look at the list of all the past activity that I've done with those agencies, etc. Right? And so now I go to this agency and I see that it is not performing as per the potential. So I want to go and add a new activity to that agency. So I can go schedule an activity with that agency for a follow-up call. While I set this activity up, I can choose a mode of communication as well. It can be on Zoom, it can be on Teams or WebEx. I choose, say, I sort of realize that I need to do a product training meeting. I'll set that up, say, for later today, and I submit, right? So we can do, and this shows up as a potential, as an upcoming meeting. Similarly, what I can do is I can go look at my inactive agencies, because as an agency RM, one of the top things that I have to be doing is to make sure that I activate my entire as a network, right? And especially the platinum agencies and gold agencies, they should not be, so they have to be active, which means that they need to be generating new business for me each week. So then I go and I look at the agencies that are not active. I can pick some from them, set up a meeting with them so that I can go and find out what is happening. And when I go and sit to talk to an agency and have a conversation with that agency, the business metrics and the next action recommendations, which will show up, will help me determine what I should sort of float up to them. So we'll talk about some of these things in more detail, but say, for example, I'm sitting and I'm talking to, I'm taking a look at this agency. Based on what I'm looking at the screen, I can shoot out an email to them saying, hey, I'd like to talk, and so on. Or I can make a call to them from here, or I can schedule an activity with them. Or I can schedule an activity with them, which can be a Zoom activity or a WhatsApp activity or a Teams activity. So that gets calendared. And later, so when the time comes for me to have that call, I make that Zoom call and that Zoom call will get auto-calendared, right? So for the interest of time, for the interest of time, because I do want to take some questions as well, I'll not go into some of those deeper aspects, but I will be happy to walk through how we do the Zoom and the Teams and the WhatsApp integrations and all that in a further call. So we started the day by saying that I went and optimized my calendar for the maximum productivity. As part of my day, there are various things I can do to make sure that I am constantly tweaking and fine-tuning my plan to sort of reach out to the right agents at the right time. And I have various tools for that. Firstly, so once things open up and I can start moving around, what I can do is to leverage map views. So at this point in time, I chose particularly bad agencies to put onto my sort of meetings for the day. So you can see that the two agencies that I picked for this demo were in different parts of India, right? So my route for the day is going to be a little complicated. But for the most part, if I don't do the stuff that I did just now, it will be in your city. So, we will help you tell what is the best plan of action for the day. And then say I have finished a meeting for the day and I have some time left over, I can then jump into the app and look at what are the agencies that are next to me, right? and I can pick ones that are next to me. I can sort of give them a call, or I can jump into the 360 view and take a look at their metrics and so on. So then I jump into a call with them, and I set up a further meeting in the day based on who's closest to me. So I can optimize my day's plan on the go that way. But and also a very important aspect of that is all my goals. So all my sales targets, which I am being tracked on, I get real-time sort of view on that, visibility on that, on all the metrics that matter to me with risk callouts, right? So which are the metrics that are at risk, which I might not be able to meet. Based on that, I can go and reprioritize my activities for the week and for the month. And I can go deeper into these sort of metrics. And here, of course, if I'm managing a team of relationship managers, here, for example, it's not just the team's metrics that are important as a whole. I'm a manager who's handling a network of agencies, but I also have a team that's reporting to me. So it's important that I not just take a look at the metrics at an aggregated level, but I should have the ability to drill down into each of my team members' metrics and see where the risks are. So which are my team members who are doing better than their targets? Where are the risks? So for example, if I go to this risk metric, so I know that my team across the board seems to be doing badly, right? So then I can go and pick where are the achievement gaps for each person in the team and so on. So for a manager as well, who's part of this remote scenario, we have single window visibility into my entire team. So I started by saying that as a, if I'm a relationship manager, what I need is single dashboard visibility in a very simplified manner to all my agencies, my agents, segmented by priority so that I know where to devote my time. And when I go into each of them, all the metrics that I need to figure out where the gaps are in the business with them, as which agencies need activation, which agencies need a product pitch training and so on. All of that for a relationship manager, not just that. So when I have a call with an agency, and now I'm talking about the remote setup again, so there might be a lot of things that I need to share with them post the call to basically make them learn the products and policies better, for example. Right? So for example, I can go and share sales collateral with them. I can share product information with them. So this is also available on Vimo, where I can just jump into my content repository, scan through documents which might be relevant to share to an agent based on the conversation that I just have with them, and share that collection with them right here from the app itself. So it is planning guidance. So it's guidance in terms of next action recommendations. It's guidance in terms of reaching out to them via modes of communication, as a virtual modes of communication, Zoom, Teams, and WebEx, WhatsApp, and all that is merged with their activity management tool itself. So, I mean, they just have a single sales assistant which will help them deal with these remote relationships. And they also have the visibility on all of their sales targets. I mean, so which is what we saw here. And what are the risk areas? Right? All of this is for a relationship manager. And there's a lot more besides this, which we can go into a deeper sort of demonstration on. But if I switch out to supervisor, right? So now I'm a supervisor of my entire team. Here is again something that is very important is that my job is now even harder. So for my relationship managers, they can't go and meet their agencies in person. So they need to make sure that the alternate modes of engagement that they have still sort of retain the power and retain the effectiveness while working from home, which is what we spoke about with the visibility and the control, and the digital modes of engagement will bring all of that. But as a supervisor, my job now is even harder because my team is distributed in terms of motivating them. So in terms of checking in with their progress, in terms of getting visibility into exactly what they're doing on the ground every day, it becomes even harder now. So as a manager, knowing when to intervene preemptively and nudge my team in the right direction, where are the gaps for coaching, all of that becomes even harder, and which is where our coach solution, so which is part of the Waymo experience, is something that we built for managers, which is even more powerful. I'll start sharing the screen again. So this is a view for a manager. So for a supervisor, they can view all their goals aggregated by team, but like we saw, they can also go into each person's metrics and each sub-hierarchy's metrics and identify where the risk areas are. Not just that, so they can take a step back and do their team's dashboard is right here. Sort of including who's logged in and logged out at any point in time, who is actively sort of selling at this point, where are they at what location, so I can get a location-based view as well of this. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I can log into each of these sub-teams as well, and I can look at that their sub-teams and who's logged in, who's logged out. So it just gives me a single window dashboard into the entire remote team, right? Then I can then look at the activities of my team, all the network of agencies. Then I can go and switch views from a partner list view. So I can go and look at the list of all my agencies. So there again seems to be some internet issue at my end. I apologize for that. So here I can go and look at the list of all my agencies that my team is maintaining, and to see where the activation issues are, coverage issues are. Or I can switch and go and look at the user-based views. So for my team, I can go and look at the views and so on. And I can switch into a whole host of reports, which will give me detailed visibility into where the gaps are, both in terms of activation, in terms of coverage of my agency network, and also in terms of the lead analytics for individual leads that are coming from my various agencies and where the bottlenecks are and so on. So I will pause this for now. I sort of apologize for a bit of the sort of rushed nature. Just give me a second of the presentation. But what I would love to do is to take the last 5 minutes to address any questions that anyone might have. And we can go into all of these aspects, I think, a lot more so in detail in personalized demonstration as well. So do reach out to me post this. We'll send you a mailer post this. And I'd love to take you through each aspect of this, because we can talk about what we're doing for agency relationship managers and the entire partner relationship management aspect of it, which is what I spent my time on in this presentation. But we also have the so sales agent flow as well. So direct sales agent flow. So an insurance agent can use Waymo's app as well to sell the products also very powerfully. So what do we do for that aspect of the relationship? I mean, so that aspect of the channel we can talk about, plus what we do for leaders as well. So we could perhaps have a follow-up to this, or we can do this also one-on-one. Yeah, so thanks for bearing with the internet disruption issues and so on. So I hope I was able to give a bit of a flavor into what we do for insurance carriers in the agency model, and so what might be important for them to start thinking about as they think about a remote first transformed world. Yeah, so I've given 2-3 minutes for any questions. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them here, or I can do that afterwards offline as well.
Varun, I think we had one anonymous question. It was how are customers allotted to different agents to initiate their first touch points?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think allocation is a very important aspect of what we focus on at Waymo. And it also becomes even more important now because we are not location bound, right? In the past, I mean, one of the biggest things that used to determine allocation of say customers to agencies, or say leads to sales reps, for example, used to be location. But now the location is not a sort of concern. So what we maintain is two things. Firstly, we try to gather as much information on the say the customers as possible. Here we do this in a few ways. On a self-serve initiated journeys, we build portals where customers can go and sort of put in a lot of their information in terms of their financial needs and the current status and so on, which helps us build a profile of them. In say a scenario where the leads are coming in from a different source, we will fetch those information as well. And on each of the agencies, we maintain profiles of their various agents. What is their track record of selling various policies to various customer sort of demographics. I mean, we have availability information as to what is the sort of existing backlog of customer leads for these various agencies. So we can look at so the profile of these agents. We can look at the track record of these agents and what have they done in the past. And we can look at the availability in terms of backlog of these agents. And we have a way of determining, based on all of these parameters, what should be the right match between a new customer that's coming in and the agency or agent that needs to deal with them. And what we do very well is we don't just map these, but we have self-serve portals where these mapping rules and algorithms can be gone and tweaked. So the admin at the customer's end, or even the sales manager and so on, can go and take a look at the effectiveness of the various allocation algorithms that we have in place. And they can go and make modifications to them in real time. I think all of these things is what makes Vaymo powerful, because fundamentally, we want to make life very simple. We want to make, so in terms of activities for relationship managers, for agency relationship managers, so we want to make it very simple for them. So we take a lot of the complexity out of their hands, but if they do still want to go and sort of go and iterate on these algorithms and so on, we give them the full visibility to do that. So that's, so we have, so I think one thing we can do for the person who asked this question is that, so we have a detailed document on how we do allocation. On lead allocation, the various parameters that we take into play, and how reallocation is done, which is one more very important thing. Which is so you do an allocation, it's not the end of the story. So because what if that lead is not picked up? And we have time windows, which is the best practice gold standard, say lead conversion windows. And if a lead is not picked up within that time frame, we sort of reallocate. So we can share that white paper for sort of further reading. And I'd be happy to walk them through this as well in person. Yeah.